going to unmute it, so sometime in the next half minute, and we'll just confirm that maybe there's a little bit of music, a little bit of talking. Chris, say hi.
Hey.
Well, not hey, I said hi.
Nope.
So that's typical D&D players for
I'm
you.
already in all sense mindset.
Negative.
That's typical D&D players where they don't do what the DM wants to do, but I can hear everything perfectly fine. Audio sounds good. Everything sounds good on my end.
All right.
All right.
Let me press a button here.
Sounds good.
Yay.
Yay, he said ready. And here we are fading into existence on the interwebses. Hey, look at that. I'm the only one that doesn't have the right tag on me. There we go. I'll switch that. Hey, welcome to Adventures from the Stream. We are live. It is a date which isn't showing up there, but I'll fix that at some point perhaps. But it is the 24th of May, 2021. We're embarking on episode 6 of our Koradjis adventure. And we have, you know, as a side note to that, I like to pronounce things differently. It's some wordplay I like to do. And I realized, although I made that out of snippets of each person's names, if you just pronounce it differently, it's courageous. If you just lengthen the A instead of shorten the A.
Oh,
yeah, I never even thought of it until I was just messing with the word one day, and well, here we are. And
Courageous.
Speaking of courageous, let's go around the screen and say hi. If y'all remember the order, we're going to go in the same order we had been. Let's see who remembers.
Hey, this is Chris. I'm playing Alset Alekin, the Gnome Warlock
of Doom.
Of Doom.
Oh.
Hey, this is
Happy
Alistair. I'll be
feelings.
playing Alistair, the Halfling Paladin.
Yeah, you'll just have to play it louder, please.
Hey guys, it's Randy, and I play the half-orc barbarian Tusk, who still is infected with werewolfness.
Werewolfness. Nice.
Lycanthropy.
And I am Jason, playing the most courageous Marty Shimmerwick, the fabulous tiefling sorcerer.
And I am Joe. I am the dungeon master for this D&D 5th edition campaign that we're playing.
Yes, you are.
Wow, I mean, like, who remembers where we were before? I guess I do. I should be honest. I remember. But does anyone else remember? Who wants to give me a recap? Who wasn't here? That'd be Chris. Although he's probably the most educated on what happened last because he recently listened to what happened last.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I know we finished off the kobolds that were remaining, and I remember that you found a book that detailed the actions of the kobolds awaiting the return of their Lord Daramon, probably. And they mentioned something about the town of a raid on a town called Belshire, which is important to one of the characters here. And then they moved along to the dragon's actual lair, the inner sanctum. Start checking it out, and it was like circled with some gargoyles that seemed to be obviously traps. And Tusk was invisible. He's going to go check it out, and he stepped on the end of the episode.
He did. He triggered it.
We're going to see if he stepped on a landmine, possibly.
You know, and in my head, all I could picture, because of the way we pick on Tusk, mind you, all I could picture was him stepping on like a rake, and it popped up and smacked him in the face and had, the end of the episode thing.
That would be off nicely.
Yeah, and it's only because we pick on the poor guy so much. All right, let me see if I can get the right map going here. I can actually unpause the game too. That would probably be a plus. Let me, oh, you know what? I ended up putting it on the other screen. So let me drag it over here and then switch back over here. Technology is fun. Okay, so we are at the entrance. I think, as I was calling it, the Dragon's Lair proper. Tusk had just kind of ventured his way in. I'm going to move our stream view here so folks can get a closer view of this. But yeah, Tusk had kind of ventured his way in a little. Let me give another recap of the description of what you can see. And this is true for Allie, for Marty, and I'll say did I not uninvisible you? Let me.
Yeah, because I can't see anything. It's the black. I mean, I see part of the map that we're not at, but where
that's
we're
my
supposed to be.
mistake because I had invisibled you, and then I moved your character to the right place, but I had not uninvisibled you.
Oh, yes.
All right. So
Very nice.
everybody at that corner can see some of this. I'm going to describe it starting from the spot where everyone can see. So if we're looking down the map, south, right from that entrance, southwest, you can see gargoyle, and the gargoyle itself, and think stereotypical gargoyle, hunched up, rock figure, actually intricately carved stone figure, and it's on a pedestal. And at the base of the pedestal, if you zoom in on the map there, for those who can see that spot, you might see there's kind of like runes on the ground underneath it, and it kind of glows in I think that one's a greenish color. And then to the west, south, like far southwest in the room, there's a spot where it's a bunch of runes on the ground with glowing lights around them. And you know what, I'll mention to Alset specifically, you recognize the runic pattern similar to what you felt was a magic door above ground on the hill that you just didn't know how to open.
Right.
So this may be the other side of that passage.
Okay.
Because you took the time to study that, you just couldn't speak it right. You don't have the right vocal cords to speak that Draconic.
Yeah, I could read it, but I can't really pronounce it.
Yeah. And then straight to the south of the opening is another gargoyle with a different tint to it, kind of a reddish tint. And then more of where Allie is and where Tusk is, what you can see more is there are other gargoyles all the way around, two very large carpets on the ground, like the size of, I don't know, what a dragon might lay on to be comfortable. This big, what looks like, call it constant fiery thing in the center. It's not necessarily fire, it's not necessarily magma, it's clearly magical, and there's a runic circle all the way around it and a glowing sphere of constantly shifting light and mist around it. And then to the far southeast, where Tusk could see this the best, there are two large spheres. I say large, they're about 15-foot spheres around what look like two miniature dragon statues and a couple other gargoyles down there. Of particular note, right where Tusk is standing, you can see on the map, you can see it a little bit. If you zoom in more, you can see it a little better, but there's skeletons on the ground. What is clear is these are skeletons of human, kobold, and most likely werewolf in different forms, because you see like the wolf head kind of thing, but not necessarily a whole lot of dog bones. But it's kind of clear that based on the way this is set up, nothing has gotten farther in the room than where Tusk is right now. Okay. And this is where Tusk may want to take a minute, think about where he is, and maybe converse with the others. As far as you know, at this point, there are no other kobolds waiting to attack you.
Yep. As I see Alset move behind me, I'm like, oh, Alset, good man, good to see you here. Can you see? And I'll hold him up a little bit so he can see over Allie.
You don't have to. I'm not that short. I mean, I'm short, but I'm not.
I don't know.
Take your hands off me.
All right, fine. I'm sorry.
Hands off me.
Oh my goodness.
Only when we're alone.
Bad touch.
I'm sorry. I know you've been very busy with your book here, and I just wanted to see if you would like a nice survey of the room.
Where's Tusk at? I can't.
Tusk, old boy.
I can smell him, but I can't.
Yes.
Do you not have dark vision, night vision, something?
Well, he's invisible.
He's invisible.
Oh, sorry. That's my mistake. Yeah. Whoops.
Tusk, old boy, if you can hear us, let us know that you're all right and kind of where you're at.
Yeah, can you come back?
Leroy Jenkins.
All right,
didn't-
everyone,
that-
roll initiative.
That didn't work out too well.
Well,
No, I'm kidding. You don't need to roll yet.
I got chicken.
I'm walking back after seeing all these bones at my feet.
I wanna put down my my dragon clockwork toy to let it enter the room and just kind of walk around for a little bit to see what happens to it.
Okay,
Look at that. Looks,
Let's see if we can do a little something. I want you. I'm going to put a token on the screen,
Okay.
and let's see if you can move it because I want to get an idea of where you're moving it. let me
Allie, do you
find-
smell that? Do you think Tusk is closer to us now?
No,
If you guys are talking, I was going to announce myself, but I was waiting for the talking to die down.
Yeah,
Guys,
especially
I'm
at the
back.
level of myself and Alistair, we could really smell them. You
Oh
know,
my. Oh, no my.
right at the junk level for them.
There seem to be several gargoyles of multiple colors, some ruins that are spinning, some big lava thing in the center with heat resonating out it pretty badly.
Was it a hot tub?
I could go for a good dip in a hot tub right now.
For a dragon or demon, maybe.
Yeah.
And
There's plenty enough room.
15-foot orbs of energy I can see in the distance.
That sounds exciting. I can't wait to get in here.
That sounds very exciting, very exact as far as measurements, Tusk. Good man.
This is what I came
Also,
for.
where I stopped and turned around, there were skeletons littered in the area. And nothing I could see further in.
All right,
I mean,
Allie,
Go ahead.
Allie, all set. What do you think here? What should we do?
Well, I want to drop my clockwork toy in here and see
Oh, you're
how
dropping-
far it can get.
You're
See how
dropping
far it can go
Chauncey.
before. Oh no, Chauncey, he fell apart years ago.
Oh, that's such a shame.
This one might be a good one. Let me import this. We're going to use, or at least I'm going to try, to use a little brass dragon
Make
wormling.
it so. Oh, nice.
Now,
Oh.
I don't know if you'll be
That's a
able.
large toy.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can move it.
try that.
Nope, it's moving it. Also,
Not yet. No.
No.
All right. Let me.
or do I have to do something here?
Yeah, I need to. No, I want this to be.
So
That.
while you
Go
guys
ahead,
are
yeah.
doing that, I'll be like, so Allie, I mean, so you looked a little bit peculiar after you read that book and everything here. Are you feeling all right?
I'll be all right. Definitely a little bit to figure out.
All right. Well, we're here for you. I mean, granted, we were all on some sort of crazy missions and things like that, and of course, we have our good work to do with the Crimson Minotaur. But I mean, obviously, we care about you guys more than we did our last group of people.
Hey, so
Nice.
I don't remember if you guys talked about this before, but is it possible that some of the kobolds were affected with lycanthropy, and that's how some of the werewolves are able to get in? Sometimes?
I think Allie, yes, I think you were investigating the bones last here. I think you were the one who said that you believed that they were potential changing at that time, correct?
Correct.
That town. So, I can't remember the name of the town we were at with all those lycanthropes, but that town probably needs to burn down. Just put it
Yeah,
out.
possibly. All right, Chris, you ought to be able to move that now.
I don't think I
Alright,
stuck
give it a
around long
shot.
enough to learn.
I
the
guess
town's
a
name.
brass dragon wormling is a lot larger
do
than I thought it would
I-
be. Can you just select it first?
Well, I click on it, but it doesn't really select it.
Yeah, it just looks like it's munching on Tusk.
Well, can you move it after you've done that? Because I can't.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
That was me. I
Oh,
selected
okay,
it,
never mind.
and the
Oh.
HUD came up for it. And as soon as the HUD came up for it, I could use the arrow keys to move it.
Yeah, I can't double click on it or not.
Try just a single click. It might be
Move-
because
Can you
it's
move Tusk out of the way?
like elevated or something. I don't know.
Move Tusk out of the way. Let's see if I can.
Tusk, move
No.
Tusk out of the way.
Yeah, I can't. It's not doing anything.
All right.
Let's see if
Well-
I can drag. I can't even drag.
Well,
him.
maybe
No.
you can tell it what you want it to do.
I would have it go straight forward to the skeleton pile to see what would
Okay.
happen when it passes by the gargoyle. That would be my
So how far do you want it to go? Like right now, it's reached the skeleton pile. Do you want it to go a
I
little
would
farther?
have it keep going straight. Like
Okay.
do like a perimeter walk of the room. Go down, make a turn, keep going, go back. Yeah.
So right where it is, as it steps into that spot, pretty much where the gargoyle is facing, a green cloud comes out of the gargoyle's eyes and surrounds the thing. What is it made out of?
I guess I would have it made out of brass, actually.
Okay.
Even though I have it kind of looking like a gold dragon, but you know.
Okay. It is. So what's hitting it is corrosive. So let's. I'll give you a dexterity
Arcana
save.
check?
Well, I was going to
Okay.
say I'll give you a dexterity save to get it out of there before it's damaged. This
Oh
is
no,
your
I don't care if it
reaction
gets
to it.
damaged. This is just. I
What
wanted
if
to
it gets
see what happens.
destroyed? It doesn't matter.
That's fine. I'll make another one. It doesn't take. That
Okay.
long.
Would you try to stop it from being destroyed?
No, it's
Okay.
fine.
So, let me
This is what they're used for.
let me delete it then.
That's fine.
It kind of corrode, melt nasties into this greenish goo pile, right in front of the gargoyle.
And I can make an Arcana check to verify what that green mist might have been.
Sure. Yep.
At least I would assume it would be that.
Yeah.
that
Let's
makes
go
sense.
over to that. Let me. I gotta switch the stream screen over to where we can see our dice.
It was actually Surge Energy Soda, and
It was- yeah.
Man, that is some rough
It's-
stuff.
Dude, that
That's why,
was.
that's why you should switch to Crimson Minotaur. It just
Exactly.
wreaks
Yeah,
havoc
that's what
on
we're
your
trying to
body.
do. 16.
All right. With the 16, you can tell that it is
Or 18
magically.
if I get to use my artificer's lore.
I mean, it's a mechanical thing. So I was going to
Yeah,
tell you
okay,
what
yeah.
you get is there is a magical mechanic that is spewing forth a, I guess you'd call it a mundane corrosive acid.
Hmm.
Can I assume that is there a way to investigate to figure out if it's pressure on the floor or if it's like a viewing thing, something has to pass in front of the eyes? Because there's a way we can investigate that without triggering the trap completely.
Yeah, I would like you definitely to get closer for that, unless you have some sort of telescope or spyglass or something.
I do have that.
Do you? All right.
Yes.
So get yourself into a good line of sight, because where you are right now, not only do you have a half orc in the way, but you know you got
He's
a couple of
he's
walls
invisible.
and stuff.
But
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
He's not in the way technically.
He's gonna have that predator haze where you can't quite see
Yeah.
through him.
You wish for me to
Or he just
swim to
walks. He walks directly into Tusk's butt. And it's
You end up with a black eye.
He has to unclick. Well, you might like that feeling.
Yeah.
Let me extend this telescope here. He has to uncloak before he can fire.
Hey,
This is not my frat days. What's going on here?
I haven't been hazed in minutes.
Tusk, you went to college? Oh my goodness.
I call it the purple haze.
They called it second grade.
What?
All right,
Oh,
so
like-
specifically the one that just melted your brass clockwork dragon. That's the one you're
Yes.
checking out.
Yeah, investigation, right?
Don't you graduate when you
what-
finish first?
What is it that you?
It took 6
What is your
years.
goal? What is it you want out of your check, so that we can make sure? I'm guessing investigation, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, I want to see if it's a pressure, like you have to step on something, or if it's just something has to get in front of its line of sight, like from the eyes, like where it's looking,
Okay.
to see what triggers the trap.
Now let's go with investigation, because you saw something happen, and now you just want to expound upon that with a closer look. Yeah.
Ah, it's horrible.
Yeah, perhaps there's a little smudge in the lens or something. You might not need to get that thing cleaned out, but you can't really see anything
Well,
extra,
can
anything
I get
different.
a little closer then? What if I do it from here?
You need a boost up.
What if I kind of get what if I almost try to walk behind it for, a little bit?
All right, so the moment you step into an adjacent square, I need you to roll a dexterity check.
Okay.
How's it going, all settled man?
Is this a
Going
save?
well.
There's a
Dexterity
click.
save? Or
There's a click.
just is it a check or a save?
This is a save. Yeah, dexterity save.
Is there like a click noise or anything like that? Because Tusk would grab him right away.
Oh my
Oh, all right.
It was a 17.
Here's what we're going to
That's
do
horrible.
then. We're going to, because Tusk was kind of paying attention, and Randy proved that by saying something, we're going to give Tusk,
Pull me out of there kind of thing?
yeah, we're gonna give you the opportunity, Tusk, to succeed on a DC 15 dexterity save,
Dexterity.
and see how that works out.
Let's see. Normal.
And what you're looking for is the quick grab the gnome thing, and you did not. So
He pushes me into the haze.
It wasn't a one. Come on.
he doesn't necessarily push you; he just misses. You're shorter than he thought, right?
Well, he can't even see his
He
own
can't see
hand.
his
Tusk
hands.
can't see his own hand, so he doesn't know
Yeah.
he's reaching.
You know,
Very.
that's a really good point. You'd lack some depth perception at that point, I guess.
I'll be leaning next to getting down next to Allie. I think it's going all right over there, don't you think, Allie?
It's going
I mean,
swimmingly.
It sounds fine.
It sounds fine. And then we hear horrible screams.
Okay, this is hopefully my roll gets out there. You will take 8. I
Ooh.
guess in game terms it has to be poison damage. There's no such thing as corrosive damage, right?
There's acid damage, yeah.
Acid. Duh. Thank you. I even said it was a corrosive acid. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
All right, but you'll take 8 damage, and like the mist dissipates kind of quickly, mainly because you breathe half of it in, but it looks like it's. So now that you've experienced it, and Tusk would see this as well, it looks like something that's triggered each time.
Yeah, the health bar thing isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I did that. That's my mistake. So you'll have to go into your character.
Yep.
I actually can change that. But yeah, from there, go ahead and decide what you want to do next, because between Alset and Tusk, you can tell it's pretty clear that it was triggered. And it was triggered by stepping next to it, like your toy did, and then like you did, and where Tusk stayed unwittingly, but Tusk stayed 2 squares away from it.
Hey Joe, I was looking real fast. Anywhere we can retcon, or maybe not. I have danger sense, so anything I have advantage on dex, or you have advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
At this point, I'm going to say no, because your dex save was for someone else.
Okay.
And we already did it.
I could see, so I just wanted to double check. Okay.
So I'll be like, so Allie, I don't think that they're handling this ever so well. Maybe we should get in there. What do you think, Allie?
You want me to make another investigation roll? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't need another investigation roll to see what happened. Both of you now saw it because you experienced it.
Okay.
So you did. You learned it by taking 8 points of damage.
Yep, that works.
Trial by fire. All right. Just as a side note here, you may need to refresh your screen, but that hit point thing should show up.
Okay.
I've changed it so it's not DM.
What were you going to say, dear?
How do you get to that normally? The hit point thing.
You don't. That's one of the settings that's on the DM side that you can check GM only or everybody.
Okay.
Oh, there he goes. Bye,
Refresh.
Chris.
Allie.
Right,
Marty was querying Allie on something.
Yes. So Allie, what do you think we should do here?
All right. Well, I can't hardly see in front of my face, so let's go check on our boys.
Oh, here, Allie, here, take this. Here, I take another coin out of my pocket and go. Don't worry, this will not come out of your paycheck here. And I hand it to her and I cast the light on it and I give it to her.
I thought Allie had a torch.
I don't think she had it up though. Yeah, she had it put away.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the light cantrip on you now because Marty just did that.
Yeah.
So now, Allie, your vision should have changed, where you can now see around you, as far as a light cantrip would let you see.
Okay.
Mm. So there you go. There you go. And feel free to take that coin with you, by the way, as well. Buy yourself something nice afterwards.
Thank you, Dave. Let's go check on our boys.
All right.
Check out our boy.
I will follow Allie in.
Now, will either Tusk or Alset, let others know not to step next to the gargoyles? Or?
Well, we can only assume we have to. We don't know how close for sure.
Well, I'm saying that's part of what you learned. You learned it's a trigger mechanism that is triggered by standing next to it.
Okay. Trying to get too close to these things.
Oh dear. Is there something? I look at Alset's clearly like acid burned hand or whatever, and I'm like, I see.
Ruined my leather coat.
Well, maybe that's something that we add into the next batch of shirts. All sets, so maybe some acid protection. Maybe.
One of my guys look at it.
One of the guys. All right, one of the guys here. All right.
Are we free to move around here, Joe? I kind of want to go look at this stuff. But...
Nope. I need to know who's moving, when, and 1 square at a time. Now, to be fair, you are free to move, but I need to know when you're doing it, so that as you move, I tell you what happens. I mean, you are in a dragon's lair, and it is clear that nobody else has gotten as far as you guys. I mean, Alset, you're about to take 1 step farther than anyone has in perhaps 100 years.
Now,
all right, I'm doing it.
So that's going to mean something.
Never mind. He's going.
Let me know if I can keep going. I just want to go. I want to go down to that little portal thingy that where the dead end of the other tunnel was. That's where I want to go.
Okay,
It's going to follow just to try to keep him
All right.
danger.
So
Yeah.
once you
16
get,
again.
I'm going to draw something on the screen here, which will be the first time that I'm doing a drawing thing. So hopefully this works out for us. But once you get close to this area, you see this kind of red squiggly I just drew. As soon as you get to that spot in between the gargoyle and that thing in the middle, it's a kind of wavy, I don't know, plasmatic barrier thing kind of shows up right in front of you, floor to ceiling, which, by the way, ceilings in here is about 30 feet high. This kind of arches way up, perhaps, to accommodate a dragon or something. And it looks like you're not going to pass it kind of thing. Like the wall just comes up and says, That's the first impression you get from it.
Does it go all
Marty,
the way around?
you good at spelling magic here, buddy?
Well, I'm good at many things, all said, old boy, but dispelling
he
magic,
says.
not so much here. But I could, again, if it seems like things are, is it like, all set and Tusk, you guys have seen these things here. Is it something like it's weight sensitive or something that is just, if we're in the vicinity, things just go by?
Well, we're talking about this plasmatic shield here, right?
Well,
We're talking-
I'm saying I can teleport myself from place to place.
I can do that too, but I'm not sure if that's going to work either.
That's
So,
what I was curious about.
Is
yeah.
Marty the kind that would take a gander at the gargoyle himself?
I would, because I was going to look and see if there's
So-
anything specific I can maybe glean magically from it. 'cause
Your
I am a
your
sorcerer.
choice. Give me a Arcana or Investigation, because you know a little bit about it now that you could examine it from multiple ways.
Absolutely. I will do Arcana. And let us do a roll for Arcana. Let's see here. That is a 18.
Hey, not a bad roll. All right, so the gargoyle that Alset was acidized with, that Tusk got close to, etc. That gargoyle is the one I'm counting here that you're talking about.
Yes.
You can clearly tell. Now, did you say? Yeah, it's Arcana. I see it now.
Arcana.
So by Arcana, you can tell there's a magical field around it that extends just a few feet around it. That if you approach it, it triggers the mechanic that releases acid, corrosive acid.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that now that I know that this is how the mechanic works, I'll let Alset know this here. I'll be like, Alset, if you didn't catch this, old boy, that's how it works.
Yeah, I got it right in the face.
I'm not
Well,
old.
I just want to say, is there any? Obviously, the creatures that have come in here. This was a layer. Obviously, this creature did not want it to go all the traps to go off every time it walked.
Hey,
around.
wasn't there pendant pieces on some of these guys?
Wasn't there what?
These guys have pendants before. I remember something about pendants. I have that written in my notes. These guys wore pendants or something. Had some of the same writing that the gates had. Maybe we can wear that and walk around here freely. Nothing.
Oh, you're talking about the kobolds.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, I don't remember the gargoyles wearing anything, but okay.
The gargoyles wear no clouds.
Does anyone else remember that, and any other details around it? I'm just curious. What else?
I do not. I might have not actually been present for that part.
It was on one
a
of
good
them.
point.
One of the guys had a pendant.
Yeah.
Ellie, Tusk, do you remember what he's talking about here?
I wasn't searching the bodies. I was busy with the book. Sorry.
No, this was like before that last time.
Yeah, I only remember their gear, which had markings on it, but I don't know if they coincide here or not.
All right. Well,
It had the same rating as the gate outside.
Didn't the weapons have the markings as well?
So one of the things. So let me revisit that too, because it's been a couple weeks. But part of the consistency of things you found here. So one of the consistencies was the kobolds had different features. They look like they were hybrids of kobolds and other creatures. So that was consistent with each of the kobolds. And their equipment was consistent with maybe prized things, old things, relics. And really what that leads to is stuff that a dragon might have hoarded over centuries. And that's the idea there. So between those two things, between all the kobolds being different and them also having quality ancient gear, although I think one of them had some crappy armor that they probably built themselves, but with those things, those are the key features of what you've seen so far. And as far as The pendants that were mentioned, that's something that is a little different, but this room here is not indicative of anything that the kobolds were doing, right? So the kobolds were kind of off on their own, and clearly they tried to get in here at some point. And I feel like I've probably danced around what you asked, and I'm not really sure what you asked anymore now that I'm this far into the explanation.
He was asking if they had if the pendants they were wearing would potentially allow him to have free access around and not have the
but
traps.
Aster had said something else too, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but with that, I would want you to, if you grabbed one of the pendants, I'd want you to give me a check on that. Again, investigation, arcana.
Right,
I'd even go with history. History would work.
I'll do with Arcana.
Because I am still wearing the Kobold Captain's armor. I'm clanking around in it right now.
Clank, clank, clank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah,
we
the
go. Arcana check on dependent.
Fancy armor.
Ugh. So that's what? Do I get the? I don't know if I get my extra bonus on that or not.
Remind me again, what is the extra bonus? When is it supposed to come into play?
Add twice your proficiency bonus to history checks related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices.
This
This is
if
a
it
history check, though. Sorry.
if it suits what you were actually looking for, that would apply. So I would let that happen. So what would your number actually be then, if you could apply?
That would be a history check, wouldn't be Arcana, but I'd have to roll history.
Oh, then go ahead with history. I'm fine with that.
And it's what is it?
Because these
twice
are
your
old
proficiency
things.
bonus? Well, I crushed it on that one.
Oh yeah, you crushed it. So that should
Figured
even add another 6 on that.
No,
You're dangerously on
4.
3 for a second.
4.
No, so that was close.
Yeah.
No, it should be an extra 2 because you should be already count your proficiency bonus. Should be an extra 2 on top of that.
Yeah, you're right. So it should be
27.
correct.
Oh, forget it. Then you failed. You needed a 28.
Yeah.
Oh.
The some of the markings on the pendant harken back to an old civilization, and part of that is recounted in some of the runes you see around the room. So some of the draconic runes on that southwest spot. At least one of the runes under the couple of gargoyles you're close enough to see, at least one of those runes also appears on the pendant. So there's definitely some kind of link, but what it is, I don't know. Yeah, that's something that I think would take a little bit more than just figuring out if it is somewhat related. I mean, it's possible that it could protect you, but if you've already got it and you've already sucked down some acid, it wasn't protecting you at that point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
So I
All
can't
right.
get past this red line. Is that what you're saying?
Well, nobody's tried. I'm just saying it looks like a "you shall not pass" thing just popped up.
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going forward.
Okay.
Shall not pass.
Ali, you might want to prepare some healing for all set here in just a second.
Can I keep going or should I stop?
I want you to. All right. So first off, when you reach it, you're going to encounter resistance, very much like if you're walking through the forest and there is a branch that's out in front of you, and you start to push it and you realize it's a lot thicker than it was, and it gives you a lot of resistance. It's that feeling. It doesn't feel hurtful or it's not attacking you, at least at this point, but you're feeling that resistance. So if you want to try and push forward, I would need a strength check to see if you can keep going forward.
That's my best skill. Not really.
Now,
Alright.
if I'm researching an ancient arm wrestling match, then I get a plus 25 to this roll.
Yeah. Let's see if I don't think I got anything either. Yeah. All right.
5
Straight up
episodes is
strength
kinda
check.
ancient.
Here we go. Watch, I'll roll like a 20.
Probably.
I suck at it.
Oh, that was on the corner of the 1 for like a half a second before it rolled over to the 7, which still isn't good enough. So
Hey, Tuff,
with
you push me through here, man?
so just so you know what it looks like for everybody else, what it looks like is modern day terms. It looks like he's pushing against a rubber band that just pushes him back really quick. It's way too taut for this little guy to push through. It's kind of obvious at that point that it just pushed him right back.
Ellie, Morty, excuse me.
Leroy!
See if you could tackle me through the barrier.
Are you really just going to push him and not the barrier? Because this could be fun.
Yeah, he's tackling Alcet
Outs-
into it.
Outstanding. All right, give
Just
me
pick
an
him
That's
up
what he
and
asked for.
throw him as hard as you can.
give me one of them super duper strength rolls from the
80
half orc.
bounces.
All right.
I'm using Mage Hand to furiously draw this out as it happens.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a 1. Give me a 1.
Oh.
How about
So,
Oh,
are you
nice.
still invisible?
Not anymore,
kind of
I would
an attack,
imagine.
so-
Well, I wouldn't count that as an attack or anything, so I wouldn't count that. I mean, unless you specifically dropped it. Anyway, I'm just thinking of what the excuse might be, why nothing really happened. Perhaps you went to push him and some part of his gear poked you inappropriately and you slowed down.
They were a bit in my way. I'm going to give that another go.
I'm more than happy to let you roll it again. There's still a 1 on that die.
Yes, there is.
And there's still a gnome in between you and this barrier.
Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
That's better. 16.
Okay. So Tusk goes forward, kind of shoulders into Ulset, presuming that's what you're probably trying to do.
Yeah.
Push forward. You get probably a good 5 feet forward, and I will need a dexterity save from each of you as you are flung backwards.
A danger sense apply to this.
Yeah, danger sense because it's you this time.
Okay.
I'm all for
Would
that.
it really, though, since he decided to hurl himself fully into a gnome?
Well, as soon as it started resisting, in that moment,
Hey.
I think
Oh,
he would realize.
super.
Yeah. Now, if I read that right, you just
a
rolled a
natural
20,
20.
Randy.
A 19 and 20.
But you rolled a 20. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. You're both going to get flung back 10 feet.
Oh.
Because of your roll, I will let you take no damage, and you can grab Allset and have him take half of a d6 of damage. So,
Wait.
Yeah, I'll catch it.
all right. So let me roll that beautiful d6 with a
This
1.
isn't Miles.
So you're going to take
Doesn't-
1. We can take 1 point, Chris, for
One
Allset.
point.
All right.
This isn't Miles.
5
He
damage.
doesn't not know to catch
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
As they both fall to the, as I see also, I like, so, how's it going? Good? Yes?
Let's
Now,
try over here.
I
Can go
will
this way
say-
instead?
I will say, just so you know, you could feel that it might have broken with enough force, but you didn't apply enough force.
Let's all run it at the same time.
No, well, before we get to the head of ourselves here, old boy, I mean, Ali,
But
I
this
mean,
is
you,
fun.
I mean,
Should-
what do you think here about this? You're a
Should-
seasoned adventurer. You've been around a little bit here. This seems like we're maybe going about things the wrong way. What do you think, Ali?
Well, magic certainly isn't my forefront. Now, does this wall go all the way around?
We don't
all the
know
way
yet.
towards this other,
It
other
only
gargoyle here?
appeared when you walked, or when Ulset took that step that is like directly between the gargoyle site and that center glowy magma-y, fiery-y, arcana-y thing.
I'm
Does it-
assuming the same
does
will
it-
happen.
Does it stop at the hot tub, or does it go all the way through it?
The hot tub. It is now the hot tub. Yes. It stops there. Specifically, it stops at the shifting, glowing, magical, misty aura around it.
Well, does anybody want to go take a dip?
Well, let's do a test. What if I go this way? Does the same thing happen if I come over here?
If you get to the point in between the two, then yes, I'll give you another squiggly line there. As soon
Okay.
as you get to that point, it pops up. And it's one of those things that regardless of how fast you're moving, it pops up right in front of your face immediately. And just lets you know, probably not.
So do these runes around the hot tubs say anything specific?
I would like an Arcana check.
Yes, it says 1 ring to roll them all.
Well, I can read any language. I do have that ability.
This is magical writing rather than language writing. It's specifically intended for magical effect. So, I mean, I can tell you that because you can't read it. It's not a language per se. It's it's kind of like casting magic missile without a scroll. You don't necessarily need language. You just need to know what the magic is to do
so,
it.
So, Ali, you said you wanted to go jump in the tub here. I don't know if we should do that here. Maybe we should try this first. I'll use my mage
Okay, I
hand
will
to
say, Eyes of the
combine things.
Runekeeper says I can read all writing.
All right. It clearly says this is magical writing you will only understand with an Arcana check.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
I take.
Yeah,
Well,
what the?
I
I just
saw
missed
that.
the 20.
Yeah.
while Alcet
Do
is
you-
doing this here, I will grab a piece of like bone from the ground with my mage hand, and I'll chuck it into the pool of where Alistair was wanting to
Hot tub.
go and jump in the hot
Go
tub
to
to
the
see
hot
what happens
tub.
to organic material.
It bounces off of the sphere. Well, it's not necessarily a sphere. The dome that surrounds the hot tub. It just bounces off at pretty much the same speed you threw it, kind of like
the
a
messy
super ball,
part?
bouncy ball kind of thing.
So see, Ali, I think that we're going to run into the same problem potentially. Also, what did you learn, my man? It seems like you were very interested in that writing there.
So-
You did read it right.
Chris with a
Well, we'll see.
14. It is. It's a spell that you either need to be very powerful or the caster of the spell to undo it.
It either says penny for your thoughts or throw a gold to your watcher.
Oh, I'll take a gold coin and I'll fling it into it.
It bounces back and embeds itself in your
Boink.
forehead.
Damn it. Oh, no.
And, but I do want to
Ali-
point out that
Ali,
anything that hits
can you-
these walls or this dome bounces as if it were hitting a rubber ball. That's
can
what
you-
happened
can you-
with these guys being flung back farther than they actually hit it. And no, you don't necessarily get it impaled, but it will leave a mark.
No,
It'll leave a
no,
mark.
Ali, I please. This face here is the face of the brand. Could you make sure? I hate to ask you to use a healing spell on it, but I mean, I think I need this to be addressed here. How does it look?
What exactly would you like me to do? Would you like a kiss for your forehead?
You are a healer. You're the person who's. Look at this here. I have been wounded.
Okay,
had
Tuscarawas
worse, Marty.
Club is annoyed is
Oh,
going to
okay.
smash the skull of this.
Let's all just run at this wall and see if we can smash through it.
All right, everybody make a strength check.
Let's do a Tusk boulder smash maneuver.
Well, first
Oh,
off, Tusk, are you walking right up to the gargoyle like that
Oh,
and
Tusk
triggering
was-
it again?
pulled his club and charging straight for its head because he's tired of seeing the stupid thing.
Fantastic.
I'll-
So
I'll-
start with a dexterity save to see if you can avoid the corrosive acid that
it gets
comes
to the
out.
advantage of
And
danger
does
zone.
danger
Allie gets
sense
ready.
apply to that?
I mean,
I
if
would
you're putting
assume.
yourself in danger, sure.
All right.
I mean, that must mean you know the danger's there. Oh, I thought that was going to be another 20.
It was close, but
It was.
17.
All
That's
right, with a
pretty good.
17, you can avoid the mist because you kind of have an idea of where it's coming from and what it does now. So it comes out of the eyes. You're able to duck it, give it a little juke, get by the mist where it doesn't really affect you.
All right, swing at the face of this club.
And you just want to hit the thing. Give me just a straight up strength check, and let's see if you are strong enough to damage it.
All right. Come on. It's not too terrible, but it's only
Yeah,
13.
the club kind of bounces off. You chip a little bit of stone from its face.
He's going to jump back afterwards so
Yeah.
it doesn't set off again.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that didn't work.
you damaged it, but hitting it like that, you'd probably need a good 2-3 days to hurt it.
Yes. Now, maybe if we cover the creature, the gargoyles, as far as them seeing things, what do you think? You think that might work? I know we have some of the canvas sacks that we took from some of the tents that we raided.
You could try that, but I think it's magical in nature. I don't think it's going to matter if they can
And
see
you
or
want to
not.
have stone to flesh? I can cut its head off afterwards.
I don't know
Why
what
don't
that
we
That's
can
an
blast it
interesting thought.
apart with we can just
I don't know that I want to see a gargoyle in the
All
front.
right, fine. I mean, Tuscan and Alcet, if you want to do this again, I can try to help push you through it here, and I'll have my mage hand crack its knuckles and be prepared to help push them through. If that's what you really want to do.
why don't we get all of us and we'll just run at this thing. We'll
See,
who's
I'm not.
faster.
I'm not the running type, Alcet. You know this. already.
All right, Alistair, come on.
He-
3 of us. Let's
He
go.
will slowly lean at it.
Mhm.
All right, shortest the biggest.
Give a Crimson Minotaur pose at the wall.
Let's do
So
it.
Okay,
Make one a
so
regression.
on the wall?
are we going to do 3, or is Marty going to participate at all?
I'm having my mage hand push the last person kind of.
An extra 10
push it
pounds of
forward.
pressure.
All
That's
right.
10 pounds of force.
Does it
That's
do
gonna-
10?
It does 10
Yeah.
pounds of force.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 pounds of force.
Then-
Not very much, but
then
it might
here's-
be enough to get you over the hump.
Then here's what we're going to do. Because I like making stuff up. Alcet, Tusk, Allie, roll a d20 for a strength check. Marty, roll a d10.
Yeah.
And let's see who has the highest strength check.
Ooh, 19.
Wouldn't it be the
Actually, it's
gnome
18.
with the highest
18,
strength
18.
tag?
Oh,
I got a
18.
-1.
I
Minus
think,
one.
I think your
So
die
it's
hit
18.
mine. So
I
I
don't
know
see
how to do this.
Aster B didn't show up. It just said DDB player number 452222.
That's kind of weird.
I should make
I
sure.
figured out how to do this. Hold on.
I mean, I don't know. Was that you? Did you? Roll that?
That was hers. Name came up weird.
Mine's yellow.
Yeah, hers should be yellow though. Yeah, because the character's
Well, and
yellow.
somebody rolled a random dice.
Yeah,
there.
Which one am I?
somebody's in the game. Let me check that. But red
Yeah,
is
'cause the-
is me
'cause
as the GM,
Yeah, I was
Oh.
gonna say the players listed.
and I
doesn't look
didn't
like
I
it.
didn't roll. So
That looks weird.
I'm sorry. I already forgot how to do this. How am I?
all right, Eli, get out of here.
so select your character.
Ability check?
Yeah, under you can select your character and then just do
Under checks will be strength. Yeah.
check strength. Yeah, see, there's the yellow die. Where did that red thing come from?
I rolled a saving throw, not a check, by the way.
That's very cool. Now. Okay, so
Oh, roll
I
a-
guess
roll a check then,
Tusk,
huh?
roll an ability check here.
Yeah, I accidentally did.
You're not trying to save yourself yet. That'll be after the check.
After we run through and fall into the pit trap underneath the
Yeah.
rug.
Okay,
Sweet, even worse.
so we're going to
Well,
take
about the
the
same.
top number, and we're going to add the mage hand to it, which is a 4. So
Hey.
that means we end up with a 22, and of course it's the gnome spearheading this initiative because Elsa really wants to get
Third
through this
time's the
darn
charm,
thing.
right? Oh, he does. I'm not
Okay.
leaving this place.
Um,
I'll starve.
so what happens is everybody gets behind there, and that little extra push from the mage hand in the back, all set. There's kind of a sucking and then a popping noise, and you pop through the other side. Everyone else is still on the previous side.
Can we see him?
Yes. I mean, he's kind of obscured because this wall is kind of a phasey, plasmatic-y thingy. But yeah, you can see him.
Oh,
Did we get
Okay.
tossed back, or since he popped through, it kind of...
I high five my mage hand.
Yeah, at this point, there's a resistance, but the resistance isn't as heavy because he popped through. So, Elsa made it through the wall sphincter.
No.
Yay.
They're
Now can
coming
he
out of the
see?
wall sphincters. That's a Borderlands 2 reference.
I'm not
fuck
kidding
yeah.
you guys. That felt pretty weird.
All right, so
Oh.
what do you see over there, old boy?
You probably
know.
have that feeling like you want to wipe something off, but there's nothing there.
Feel a little greasy.
You're feeling a little greasy. I was just
Uh,
informed that there was no chat in the stream, so I'm going to turn that on. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go check out this weird looking whatever it is over here. The circles. Yeah.
Okay. Heading over to those runes. Like I mentioned, they kind of match what you saw up top. There's a lot of the same letters and the same words. This also has the glow around it that's in a dome shape from the floor up, and it's definitely way taller than you, probably 3 or 4 times your height, so maybe about 15 feet or so up. And it is the same look as the thing surrounding the hot tub in the middle, and that is most likely, presuming it's the same thing, most likely it's very resistant to being attacked. Things will
So
just
if I-
bounce off.
What if I push on it? This pushes back against me.
It's one of those. It's a weird thing. It feels like it
What if I
pushes
touch-
back harder than you pushed against it.
What if I touch it with the pendant they have with the same runes on it? Does anything happen?
No effect,
All right, well,
or
I
no
mean, it seems
different
like it's,
effect.
It seems like it's
Alright.
all right over there. Yes, all set. You're not dying.
No, still pretty good. I'll go over here and check out this rug.
All right, well, fine then. I guess I will go over to the other side as well. So then I'll try to misty step my way over to the carpet here.
Okay.
I was saving that to get back.
Oh, I can do it a few. I can do it a few times.
Let me see here. Let's do a Give me just a second, because I hadn't even considered that when I set up what this was going to do. Give me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Of course.
I honestly hadn't considered teleport when I thought of how I was setting up the traps in this room.
13.
All right, so
A
with a
healthy 13.
you can tell that while you're misty step, first off, you make it, but while you're
I make
misty
it.
stepping, there is a much less pronounced, like a
I would land on the carpet.
sound. There's still the suck and the pop sound, and you can feel yourself having to force your way through. Like if your save hadn't been as high, you might not have made it all the way through, and your misty step still would have bounced you back.
Huh. All right. And I pop out on the carpet here. I chose the carpet because I feel that the carpet might be safe, because if this is where the dragon is sleeping, I imagine that he can booby trap it.
We don't know
himself.
what's underneath these carpets. I want to lift this carpet up over on that. See if there's like a pit trap or something.
All right, so I've got, just so you know, I've got the chat up here where Bridget says, if the chat's not up, my snarky wit goes unnoticed. So yes, indeed.
No, it's definitely up now.
Yes, it is. I got that working. So cheers to the new stuff. Let me take a moment and re-describe this corner for Marty, who can now see it, and I guess also you can kind of see it as well. This southeast corner. So
yeah, my vision hasn't really changed at all on here, but yeah, it's.
Well, I think you can see everything as if it were dim light, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because from what I can tell, when I select your
everything.
character, you can see everything.
Yeah.
So it's just dim compared to where Allie has real light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright light.
Yeah, we're good.
So you guys are in dim light.
I had my screen off. It was my fault. I'm stupid. Don't worry.
That's okay. It is your fault you're stupid, but it's okay because we all are. In the map, where the hell's my mouse? There's my mouse. I'm just going to zoom in to where Marty and Allset are. If you zoom in close enough, you can actually see within those purple sphere-y thingies are the little dragon, look like little dragon statues. From a distance, it's harder to tell, but now that you're closer up, you can kind of use your peepers to get in there and see. That is the centerpiece there between two gargoyles. Now, these are two gargoyles, one of which, the one directly to the east, has the same tint and runes to it as the acid one on the other side. So presumably same kind. And then the one to the south is kind of a bluish tint like the other one near the door. And then, like I said, these two dragon things, beneath the purple sphere that goes all the way around them and the pedestal they're on, you can see they're kind of a bluish purplish color as well. And behind them, that stuff you see on the ground is actual treasure. It's part of the dragon's hoard. It looks like it is probably not as large as what the dragon would have had when it was around, but it's a fair amount of stuff back there.
Looks like we're dealing with a very poor dragon here. All set, old man. What do you think about these things here? They seem to be different type of magic than what we're seeing around that big glowy thing in the center.
Well, I need to see if I can even get over there. I want to check underneath this rug first, because I'm assuming as soon as I get close enough, that gargoyle's going to cut me off. I'm going to have to try to squeeze by again.
Allie, Tuss, why don't you both try to make it over here? It seems to be fine. Just give it a little squeeze and.
Or has nothing changed over here, Joe? Because I got I have this other gargoyle here. Nothing. There's no other phantasmal force field that popped up.
Yeah. At this point, no, nothing new.
Okay. Is there anything underneath the rug then?
There's a hide a key. I'm kidding. That would be funny, actually. Just keep a key under the carpet. Underneath the carpet is one of the few spots in the entire cavern where that red moss is not growing. So it's just like rock underneath that. And the rock is warm to the touch.
Oh.
Is there anything up with the rug? Is it high quality? Is it just a piece of crap? Or is it, have anything important written on it?
I just got this image in my head of a dog slept on it forever 100 years ago. So it has that smell. Right. So it's it smells like, and but aside from that, yes, super high quality.
I cast prestidigitation on the carpet and season it so that it smells better.
The and it's super heavy. I mean, this is designed to hold a several ton creature. So when
It's
you're
huge,
lifting the
yeah, I mean,
corner
it's pretty
up,
big.
I'm not asking you to
Yeah.
roll a strength check, but
Yeah.
you might as well have to roll a
Well,
strength check.
if I started rolling it to like kind of roll it up, maybe to push it out of the way.
I'm getting an image in my head of, these baseball diamonds when it starts to rain and they have 50 guys
Yeah.
out on the field to unroll
Yeah.
stuff. That's kind of what you'd probably need here. It's not going to be easy. Now, it's possible you could do it with the full group, but just the corner itself, when you're lifting it up enough to get underneath to look, it feels like it's probably 40, 50 pounds just to lift the corner of it.
Wow.
If you weren't an adventurer, you probably would have strained yourself.
While Elsa's doing that, I'm going to use Mage Hand to poke at one of the orbs that's glowing.
I want to get a closer look, but go ahead and poke first.
As soon as your mage hand touches it, the spell dissipates.
Oh, all right, fine, and I'll break out my my components to cast it again, and I'm
Cool.
like, Ali Tusk, why don't you join us over here, please?
That seems.
I'm watching you,
easier
Elsa.
said
Take a
than
step
done.
back. There,
Okay.
stay there for a moment while the others join in.
Okay.
Joe, how tall is the ceiling above the statues, and how tall are the statues themselves of the gargoyles?
So the gargoyles themselves are about 8 feet tall, from pedestal up to the top of their hunched over head.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And these elastic walls that popped up are they go from floor to ceiling, and that the ceiling is about 30 feet high.
I'm going to grab a bone and throw it over the gargoyle itself, where I think that just above it.
Okay.
See if there's a force field there.
Okay. There, the bone passes through.
All right, Ali. Do you have one of those tents or anything from one of the other rooms? I could wrap you in it and charge and jump to the other side.
We cannot
You're-
hear you. Ali, speak up, dear.
Ali,
You just have to
please
unmute.
Speak up, please.
There.
Do I have a what?
One of those tents from the other rooms.
No, I didn't grab one.
All
I'm
right.
sure I've got something in my pack.
I just want you to be protected. I'm going to carry us and climb and jump or whatever I can over this statue, since we can climb over them.
I like the idea that he's just approaching the trap. That's nice.
Okay.
Let's go. So
I'm
I'm
just
gonna zoom out the our stream view here a little bit to make sure we get Tusk and Allie's demise in the stream. I mean attempts.
Well, Tusk has, the double effectiveness of dodging that, and Alistair, she'll be protected for at least one hit by the being wrapped up.
So you think?
That's what he's thinking.
We're gonna find out.
All right,
Which statue are you approaching? Which gargoyle? North or
Pro-
west?
probably the west one, the acid
Okay,
one.
the acid
we're
one.
doing with there. So the other one is either ice or electricity, and he's not sure which. So.
But he's
Or
making
we-
a nice educated guess. That's not a
or
bad
I-
thing.
Could try shoving you through the possibly weakened force field.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going to be making another character sheet. I'm here though.
Which would you rather me try?
Well, I mean,
Fastball
well,
special.
Master, I guess just throw me.
All right. I guess Tusk already has a tent, so he doesn't really need it most of the time. So we'll just wrap her up in that, throw her over. Be
Well,
prepared for a hard landing.
alrighty.
Tusk, what are you doing?
Let's-
That doesn't look very safe.
Let's presume that Allie's willing at this point to be tossed.
Don't worry about it, dear.
Look,
If I
she was
wear
fine on the
catapults, I can go through
trebuchet.
this.
She'll be okay.
Oh, the trebuchet was all said. Me and you built the trebuchet here. We know it to be
different.
much safer.
Tusk, let's have athletics? This sounds very athletic to me.
Athletics. All right. Checks. No.
Mm.
And then depending on how good his roll is, Allie might need an acrobatics check to survive.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay,
His
so
main
you
goal is to make
toss
sure
you
she
toss
gets
the
over.
paladin burrito over the gargoyle. And so Allie, the toss isn't quite as what's the word I'm looking for? Gentle, accurate, good, as we were all hoping. So let's have Allie roll a dexterity save or acrobatics check.
Is that with disadvantage because she's considered wrapped up into something?
She knew
Can
what
I
she
do
was getting
athletics?
into, so maybe she was preparing a little bit, maybe a little Houdini action.
Can I do athletics?
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, as long as you're asking and
Wherever
you've
you
got a
got
good
the
reason
skills.
for it. Yeah.
All right, parkour. Let's do this.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Now, see, parkour is acrobatics.
Parkour is
Strength
acrobatics.
would have been a
For me, at
better,
least. Now,
skill
when you
thrower.
jump and you just grab onto the side of the building and you pull yourself up, that's acrobatics with athletics at the
It
end.
doesn't matter, I don't think.
Yeah, I think when both of you together didn't hit the DC I set for this, it's probably not a good sign. Allie ends up sitting on top of the gargoyle
All right.
with acid
No.
pouring out of it.
Tusk
Oh.
is gonna immediately try to
Oh god! Oh
jump
god!
to
Oh
go
god! Oh
and
god! Oh god!
tackle her off the thing.
I will
Oh,
I will give Tusk one action to save the burrito.
Go and rage.
Oh, nice,
Whoa.
nice. And what are you going to do?
Just try to jump.
I
Either
want it to
shove or
sound good.
tackle her. Either jump or tackle her off of it, whichever is the most efficient.
So
or
is this a follow through
powerful.
action then?
Yes. It
So
was a toss. He was going to run and try to make it up for himself anyway.
Yes.
All
I'll
right.
look over to Allset while he does this, and I'm like, Allset, do we still have the ad, the language for new employees? We might need to put that up inside the next town that we have.
I always have that constantly running, and I just have like a
Good
backup of
Recruiting.
Good man.
Easy to get employees and you plan on paying them.
There's plenty of money in the corner over there.
All right, Randy.
All right.
Here's what I want to do, just because I want to have some fun with this. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 3. You, Randy, pick a number between 1 and 3. 1, 2, or 3.
Let's go 3.
Okay. Now roll
Three's the magic
3d20, and the third one is the one you have to pick.
Oh, good.
All right.
That way, the other 2 will be 20s, and I just want to see the reaction.
Roll.
That's an 8.
It's a D8.
Oops,
Fail.
oh, sorry.
you win.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Let me take that off. No, not more. How do I do less?
Just roll
You
one
click
at
the
a time.
d20 3 times, and then just hit roll.
It still has the 8 selected. I can't how do I? Maybe yes.
I think you're
got
just
it.
destined to fail.
I got it now. All right.
Yeah.
So roll them separately.
All right, so you don't get the 16. You don't get the 6. What do you get?
Let's
good.
find out.
Oh! See, now, Randy, if you hadn't picked a 3, there you go. All right, now, Randy, I
I
want you...
almost went 1. I almost went 1.
First off, Allie and Tusk, so Aster, Randy, move your tokens 2 squares past the gargoyle on the other side of it. And then, Randy, I want you to describe what the hell just happened and how you made it look good.
All right. So Tusk had wrapped her up in his tent since he didn't feel like having her backtrack. I think that's 2.
That works, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he quickly just like, all right, I'll just put my tent around you, and I'll probably either sleep in the grass or wake up next to a creek again. So whatever. So he wraps her up in it, and he's like, all right, I'll shove her. Oh, stupid stone! And just kind of throws her on top of it. It's like, oh, I'm already charging there anyway. So he jumped up and sees her like about to fry in the acid or melt alive, and just grabs her and kind of flips around it and lands on his feet, still moving. It's like, all right, that was close. Ow.
It's one big, oh, I meant to do that.
This is
Yeah.
a triple Lindy.
Yes. A triple Lindy.
Sorry.
Ellie just like leans forward and puts her hands on her knees. You know, suddenly that machine of ours doesn't sound so bad anymore.
I thought that would go better. I'm sorry.
And you know, you did have safety straps and all kinds of stuff with that other thing. For sure.
We made it to the other side, though.
Oh, all right. Well, good show, everyone. Good show.
It was a show. Show is the key word in that.
I'll look over at Allset, who's been standing in that kind of spot. I'm like, Allset boy, do you want to see if we can maybe figure out what is causing these things to still be protected by magic?
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess they're over here.
I definitely want to get some hands-on if possible.
I would look at. I would like to see if I could maybe discern, because most magic that is active, at least from Marty's, understanding, he's used to quick spells that they'll last for maybe an hour, but then they'll go away, and there's usually a component behind it here. So he's gonna look around and see if there's any kind of lasting component that might be next to it, and see if he can figure it out based on his limited knowledge of magic.
Let's say, give me an Arcana check,
Okay.
please. We'll go with that.
Arcana.
Because you have asked a super interesting question. That's 2 20s in a row, folks.
20s in a row.
From 2 different characters. All right, so Marty, without a doubt, because that's a 20. And I like to give with a 20. That what is maintaining everything magical in this room is the dragon's magic. No matter how old it is, this was an ancient red dragon before it became a Dracolich. So it was a powerful being, without a doubt. And it was studying in the ways of magic, as it were. It was actually creating a race of dragons on its own with the kobolds and merging species and trying to create its own dragon race. And everything in this room not only is powered by the dragon, but it is somehow linked. The only thing I will not tell you is what the actual link is, but you are positive that everything has a rune on it. Everything is glowing a little bit in some way or another. There's definitely a link. Think of it like a master combination or a master key somewhere that is going to either activate or deactivate what's in this room.
Okay. Now, I would pass that information over to the group here. I would shout it out to all set, and hopefully Allie and Tusk would hear it in the room itself. As far as what I can discern here, anybody here have any ideas of what that key might be, though? All set, Allie, Tusk, anybody?
What was in the book? I don't remember what else was in the book.
You were reading the book for like 4 hours.
All right, so in Alset's voice, what a fair bit of what you remember from the book and what Alset would probably be willing to relay is there is I'm gonna try and think of the wording, because remember the book is written by the kobolds and it's not in the best common, but it is written in common. The gist of what's there is, we haven't figured out how to get into the dragon's lair. We've tried. We've given up. But the priest, who you guys probably killed, thinks there's a way in, and he's been studying it separately. Do you get that from the book?
Did he have his own journal somewhere?
You guys didn't see one, but maybe there's something on that body.
Off of his body.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Aster's got the right idea. I think so. Now you've got to figure out how to get back out.
All right. Well, I mean, if you guys need me to pop back over and grab the thing, I can do that here. If that's what you
Well,
need.
since I'm here, can I check out these spheres surrounding these statues?
As long as you describe to me what you mean by check out, because if you were paying attention, which you probably were, Marty's mage hand dissipated when he touched it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I want to take I have a little bag of sand. I want to toss some sand at it, see what happens.
Okay, so the sand hits it, and it's almost like the sand is magnetic for a moment. It sticks to it, and then it falls straight down. There's like no bounce or anything. It just like hit, stuck, fall. It maybe hangs in the air for a second before it falls.
What if I stick? Hate to ruin that. What if I toss one of my ball bearings at it?
Same thing.
So it sticks and then falls?
Yeah.
That's just throwing shit at this.
No bounce at all. And I want to emphasize that because of how much things bounced off of the walls and the dome thing.
Okay. Well, I think that Marty, if we are looking for that stuff, he would use his last Misty Step to bounce back over to the other side and then go and try to retreat, go back, make his way back and try to find the priest's body in the little hole that we were in and see if there was anything on there, if the group is okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
You want me to climb back?
I like it. Yeah, that's fine. You're good.
Right.
He's
All
too
Get going, kid.
mesmerized by this.
All right, fine. I'll be right back here. Please, again, hold on.
So I tell you what, we're going to follow Marty for a minute here. You guys are free to think about what you want to do next.
And I
but-
forgot to cast the spell, so I'm casting it twice because I used it once over, and I'm using it once to get back. So that's
Oh, it's
Is
a
this any
second
kind
level
of
spell. For some reason, I thought it was like a cantrip. All right.
no. All right, so
Okay. Well, I still need you to roll. What was it, Arcana? Intelligence. I'm sorry, intelligence save, please.
yep. Intelligence.
As
save,
long,
okay.
yeah, as long as you get 10 or over, you're good. But if you don't, then it's.
I think he's
Oh
good.
God!
Oh,
That's 3 20s in a row.
All right, so this time
20
you don't
from
even.
here on out.
Yeah, you don't even feel the suck and pop. Right. This time you just pass right through.
All right, very good. All right, well, stay alive. I'll be right back, and I'll clank my way outside because I'm still wearing the heavy armor.
Yeah,
so I'm still
clank,
gonna
clank,
make my
clank,
way
clank.
back.
And we're going to follow Marty here on the stream. We get to watch Jason push arrow keys for a few seconds here.
Yep.
And we're going to get back to the room, which I will describe as Marty approaches it again.
Yep. I walk in boldly because I believe it's safe.
Yes. In this room, this was the room where there's this kind of brackish pool of water right to the right as you enter the room. I say right to the right, it's like 15 feet off to the right. There's a few benches on the ground. There are, I'm going to keep picking on myself, benches on the ground. No, they're not floating in the air. Yes, they are indeed on the ground. There's the altar there. That's where the book was. Behind that is this large dragon skull, like real life size dragon skull. It's got this magical fiery stuff around it. And just as a little reminder, and I don't know if, I think Chris probably caught this listening to the last one, but this fire seemed to cure on its own, seemed to cure old wounds, not fresh, but old. So that's there. The bodies of most of the kobolds are still there. One thing I did not do was invisibilize this other dude. And let me do that. So the one that was the priest is actually not there now.
Oh.
So I just invisibled him. And Marty, he wasn't there when you walked in. He didn't just disappear like I made it happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so where that body was is not. And in game terms, you were in here, 15 minutes ago or so. So
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago, and you would probably remember. That body was there, is not now. The rest of the place still looks the same. What you want to do?
So I'll take a look. I'll be confused. I'll be like, I'll count the bodies, and I'll make that. There was one over here. Oh, okay. Does it look like there's any drag marks or footprints that led out? Does it look like he got up and kind of just shimmied on away?
It looks like there may have been motion towards the dragon's skull.
I'll put my head in the skull and see if I see him in there.
You are going to roll a dexterity saving throw.
What? The skull was friendly before. What? Oh,
It
no.
was, yes.
Yeah, but the priest inside trying to stab you is not.
No, it's
Oh,
a
my
mace to the face, but we'll see.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, all right. So, Marty, right into his prime selling point, is
My
going to
face?
take 6 blunt damage to the face.
oh,
I stumble backwards.
And
into
you
things.
notice that it is the priest in there.
Yep. Yeah, I'll
He
stumble
appears
back.
to be kneeling and doing some kind of prayers or something, but as soon as, it's like maybe he was watching you, and as soon as you got close enough, he just bonk on the face.
So I'll be like, that was on go. I'll make sure that my nose looks okay. I'll be like, all right, old man. What the hell are you doing in there? I'll yell to him as I prepare with my armor on and stuff like that, which gives me disadvantage. I forgot that gives me disadvantage on dexterity checks. I don't think it mattered, but
In this case, no, he got you.
yeah, and I'll be like, "What the hell are you doing?" When I look, I'm gonna look in from right here and see if I can see him. Does he look like he's like fully healed, or does he look like he is?
He looks like he is grabbing bits of the flame and either ingesting them or placing them on different parts of his body, kind of
Okay.
like he was doing to heal that other guy when you guys
I'm
first
going to-
showed up.
I'm gonna pull my
he knows
sleeves
how to
up and
use
I'm
it.
going to reach in and try to grab him and pull him out.
Okay. That's going to be a strength thing for sure.
Yeah.
because he's fully clad in armor, and
Oh, he's wearing armor too. The priest.
yeah, the priest is wearing a plate mail armor.
Just strength or strength athletics.
I'm fine with athletics, yeah,
Okay. I mean,
because it's not a
very-
save. It's a straight
Yeah.
up. How strong are you to do this?
Not very strong.
Yeah. So, no.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah, so no.
You get a mace to the hand.
I thought about it, but he already took one shot. He's probably a little cautious.
All right. If that's the way that you feel there, old man, then I'm going to put my hand back in. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost at him.
Neat. I like the idea of casting Ray of Frost into magical fire. That's cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I think that's an attack roll, right?
Yeah, it's an attack roll. Yes. Oh, I'm reaching in. I'm going to try to touch him. Oopsies. I have to target. Oh, I have to target him first. I can't target him.
Oh, let me give me just a moment, please.
Yeah.
Let me first off, I need to uninvisible him and put him in the dragon, like that. That's good enough.
There we go.
So now you should be
That's
able to.
What she said?
That's what she said. Yes, let me uninvisible him and put him in the dragon.
Oh, 12.
That
Misses.
pirouetted on a 1 for a moment.
Yeah. So a jet of ice just kind of shoots out inside, but I guess he just moves inside the skull a little bit.
And just as a touch of how magical this item is, out the other side, it's a little trickle of water that just kind of trickles to the ground.
Exactly.
All right. Don't make me come in there, my friend. I will. Is there enough room for both of us inside the skull?
Yeah. I mean, it's close, but yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, if he's not doing anything right now, I'm gonna again roll up my sleeves, and then crack my neck. And I'm gonna dive inside the skull to try to get him out of there.
Okay. For Allie and Tusk, give me a perception roll, and just so you know, it's got to be really darn good to even notice something's going on elsewhere. The sound doesn't carry well here because of all the moss, but there is no sound where you guys are except sounds that you are making. So the noises coming from this distance may or may not reach you. Definitely not with a 3, and definitely not with a 6. So, yeah, you guys don't hear anything.
All set. What's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, hi, Anthony Engel. Thanks for joining us.
A while
Hello.
join there.
Hey, one of you guys should go check it out.
You just retrieving a book, right?
Well,
Right.
he's looking for
Hopefully he does by
something.
now.
I guess I could walk through here and see if it's one way.
Just let me pass through it.
Well, before you do that, let's go back to Marty. Marty, you're going to try and snuggle up in this roomy
but
twin.
I have my dagger out with me, and I'm ready to start stabbing. If
Okay.
needed.
Oh,
So
the fancy dagger.
yeah.
Marty the Shank Shimmerwick.
Yep.
Shank.
Pretty
That's
much.
nice. All right, let's throw an attack at him then.
Okay. All right. So as I get inside there and I kind of see him swinging, I'm just gonna try to poke him right if he's like in there like doing this. I'm gonna try to poke him right in the crotch just as hard as I can with the dagger.
And he kicked
Marty
the
the
monkey in the
castrator
ding
Shimmerwick.
ding. Yeah.
I mean that's what's there. I imagine him like hunched in and his legs are kind of like crossed or like spread. I'm just gonna try to get in there and get after him.
That's
so
right. You get in there, boy.
Go ahead and roll it as an attack.
All right, so why is it not letting me roll the thing? My dagger. I want to.
It's there. You just have to click the attack.
It is there. Okay, my bad. There we go.
I see it at least. Oh my! All
I
right,
think you might
so
have chopped it off.
a critical right in the pee-pee.
And there's damage.
That's amazing. Wow.
Gave him an extra Prince Edward for that one.
Wow. Let's I'm gonna give him a roll here. Give me a second. Let me give him
He
a
passes out from the shot.
that's what I'm going for. I'm going with a Constitution save. Okay. So I was gonna give him a Constitution save to try and hit the number of damage you did, and he did not. He's in shock, and he is not. So whereas he has the power to grab the arcanic flame and heal himself, he is just shocked to the point. And his koboldic dragon voice, and this is a guy, by the way, his hybrid form is kind of feline. He has little tufts of fur that come out between scales in different spots. He has cat's eyes instead of dragon's eyes. And yeah, he's really cute. But he kind of stops, and his voice goes up like 2 or 3 octaves.
Yep. All right. There we go. As I have the dagger like in, I'm just gonna grab his leg, forward and out. I'm like, just don't make this any more painful than it is, old man. And I start pulling him out of the thing.
I guess he was castrated.
Oh my. So I think Randy needs to take most of the damage from the next attack.
Yeah.
Right
Just Randy
now.
though, not Tusk. All right.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Is Marty looking to end this guy?
I mean, he was dead before, so yes, he's going to try to end him again so he can get him out of there because he doesn't trust what he's doing.
Here's the deal then. Just to make it easier on the whole process, you've already got him stunned. Let's give you an attack with advantage, and if you get a roll higher than a 20, you will just end him.
Oh, good lord! All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess it's gonna be. This is the dagger still. I'm just gonna use the dagger. Then I guess.
That's fine.
Let's just go ahead.
But just roll that with advantage.
With advantage, yes. Yeah. There we go.
Because he is crotch stunned.
Oh, that's only 15.
All right. So you'll just hit him again. Go ahead and do your damage.
Okay.
But I'm going to give him a chance now to hurt you as well.
Yeah. 4 damage.
All right. And he's going to, let's see what I got. I got his mace. This time I'm going to actually have him roll to attack you. And he hits.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
5 damage. Yes.
As he smacks me, I'm going to hit him with a hellish rebuke if I can.
You sure can.
Audibly yell when you get hit, or just...
Yeah, I imagine I'm stabbing him in the crotch, and I'm like just sawing away at his crotch, and then just out of nowhere, just a crack in the
saying
face. And I'm just like, oh, and then just out of sheer instinct, I will cast hellish rebuke on him.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and
you do that, and while that's happening, Allie and Tusk again, because you're at least closer to the door. Okay. Give me another perception check and at least get over a 10.
Not gonna happen.
And that's 11 points of damage. He has to do a save, so he failed. So
yep. So he took the damage and he's really low.
Yeah. And I'm like, stop struggling, and I'm trying to
double 16s, Jeff.
Nice. So you both rolled a 16. So this is one of those where you both hear the exact same sound at the exact same moment, and your heads both spin at the same time in the same direction. And what you hear is something like a cat dragon screaming, and Marty shouting about a crotch or something.
Yep.
Is that loud enough for me to hear?
You're too far away.
Yeah.
I'll set trouble. I'm hiding in.
But you're going to see both of them hear it. Yeah. There's going to be no question.
And
is
then
Marty circumcising people again?
Again, the shank.
Yep. And then as we're doing this here, is it my turn? Or is he going to attack again on me, Joe?
I'm going to let him get one more attack on you before we call this, because it's just a way to use up a little bit more resource. Let's see what happens here. He kills himself, unfortunately. So he lunges at you, and because he's kind of off balance, he falls to the side, and one of the teeth from the lower jaw of the dragon just goes right through his throat. And he just falls forward, and he bleeds some on the dragon.
I was kind of like, dreadful business here. Sorry, old man. And I'll pick his head off the tooth. There we go.
He immediately starts healing and attacks you.
Yeah, I'll just pull him out of there and I'll drag him out.
Okay.
And then after he's out of the thing, I just want to take a second to compose myself. I'll have Mage Hand dust myself off, and then I will try to see how did he come back to life. I'm pretty sure that he was dead, so I will take a look at his body and see if there's anything that I can discern on how he was able to come back.
Is everything okay?
Which I think would be like maybe a medicine check. Maybe.
So while he's doing that, if you guys wanted to go check it out, you're just going to need a strength check to get through the bouncy wall to get there. And your strength, and I'll let you know right now, the DC to get through it is a 20.
Ooh.
That's why it took multiple efforts with multiple people and adding numbers together and an extra mage hand in your back.
I think when we figure this place out, I'm going to reopen it as Daramon's bounce house.
Nice.
And money.
Everything quiets down, so he's just like, "Is everything okay?" Yelling.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of hear that, Marty. I mean, you're what, maybe like right after the heat of the crotch battle, and yeah.
Did I make out? Did I make out what it said, or did I just hear Tusk's voice?
I'll say that he's probably shouting loud enough to match the sound that he heard.
Oh.
It makes sense.
Yes, no problems over here. Everything's fine. No crotches were destroyed.
He's
Roll
lying.
deception.
In the making of this film.
I
Nice.
don't think I believe him.
All right.
Really specific, don't you think?
So Marty,
Was he doing that to his own crotch? What's going on up there?
medicine or arcana?
Yeah, I would say medicine would be what I would be.
Go for it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not good. That's an 8.
Okay, as the best you can tell, he faked his own death.
Oh, okay.
Be
Well,
awesome.
well, I hope that he's not going to fake this one, and I'll just take my dagger and I'll just saw off his head real quick. And I'll just make sure that we won't have any more visitations, and then I'll take the head after it's done, unless you need me to roll for a check to see if I can get through his head.
And his journey to the dark side is complete.
All is going at the
No roll needed.
Okay.
He is at this point quite dead.
Okay.
Not just mostly dead, but seriously dead.
Okay. All right. And then after I'm done with this here, I'll like kind of put his head down for a second, and then I'll just look for the thing that I came here to look for initially, which was the book or something along those lines.
So when you were cutting his head off, you noticed that he had a necklace with a pendant on it. That's one of those that opens.
Mm-hmm.
And inside is a picture of his loving mother, who says he's got the best dragon crotch in the world. And why his mother would say that, I don't know.
That's a catastrophe.
Yeah, there it is. The inside there, inscribed on very small pieces of on pieces of platinum, inscribed very small, is something in Draconic, which I don't think you can read.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Okay.
Huh. Well, I hope this is maybe his address. Maybe I'll send him a case of Crimson Minotaur. Maybe send the grieving mother something here, and I'll
Poor lady.
put that on. I'll put that on
his crotch rocket.
Yeah, I'll put that over my neck so I have it. And then, is there anything else on the body of interest that I might be able to help us down
Well,
below?
it's not on the body anymore, but yeah.
The I'm going to say no overall. This is just something you guys missed when you did a quick search of the bodies earlier.
Gotcha. So with that, I'll take the head and I'll just throw it in the pool of water here, and then I will move my way back out to meet and regroup with everybody.
All right. So we'll get back to that room now. In the meantime, let's say over the last 5 minutes-ish, that's about how long this would take, what is whom doing where? So let's start with Allie and Tusk over in that west side of the room. Let's see what the west side story is.
West side.
Because when you're a jet.
Now we said that this gargoyle to the south of Tusk and I is safe, right? Like it doesn't make the wall.
It did not when Allset walked by, but nobody walked close enough to it to see what would happen on its own. It just didn't make the elastic wall.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
They
not
would
gonna.
be too eerie of that to want to approach, probably.
You have to be wrapped up in a tent first.
Gotta be safe.
I'm not gonna get within 5 of it, but I'm gonna start walking this way and see if that wall pops up.
It does not.
Same. After everything died down, we'd probably regroup with Alset and see what's going on over here.
Okay.
Oh, that is hot over there.
I wanted
think
to see if I recognize this type of magical barrier before. This purplish sphere surrounding this. Something I might recognize to see how to figure it out.
Okay, let's go with an Arcana check. Or if you think it's something you might have learned sometime in the past, I'll be fine with history.
Well, that works because that gives me the bonus.
There you go. Oh,
So
8.
16.
All right. So with a 16, not necessarily. You can tell from the magical perspective, it's something that seems to nullify. It seemed to completely nullify the kinetic force of things hitting it. It nullified the magic as it touched it.
Tusk, put your hand on that purple sphere.
No.
That's the first
We'll
time he
give you
didn't put his hand.
I can realize a bad idea when I can see one.
Allie, put your hand on the purple sphere.
Excuse you.
Tusk
I
grabs.
just got thrown and almost burned by acid.
Tusk grabs Alcit's wrist and starts dragging it towards the force field. You want to touch it? You touch it yourself.
Put your tongue on it. No, I'm just kidding.
Keep it 6.
That's what she said.
He would
I
not
will-
make him actually touch it.
Hey,
Now I'll see if I can push against it, if it pushes back, or if it does something.
describe the action that you're taking.
I'm just like putting my hand on it. You know?
Okay, your hand goes numb as soon as you touch it.
And I pull it out. Is it still
Yeah.
numb?
There's no pulling it out. You just touch it. And when you touch it, the surface of your hand is just numb, like pins and needles, like you're just waking up. Like your hand is just waking up.
Gotcha.
But it's very numb to start, and within moments you start feeling the pins and needles.
So, was that a good idea or a bad idea?
It's a great idea. You should put your tongue on it.
You know what the stranger is?
I didn't want to say it, but
The people you ignored in the last town, that's who they are.
Hey,
so if I try to like push like my hammer through it, it just doesn't even push through.
So the idea that I'm expressing is things stop as soon as they touch it. So you
Yeah,
can't,
okay.
as soon as you try and push it, it just negates the force that you're
Right,
pushing.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird feeling, almost like when you're pushing it against it, it would almost be like flying or weightlessness, that you're not feeling resistance. It's just nullified, the force that you're pushing against it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess we're just waiting for Marty to show up. To see if we found
I
anything
pop back
useful.
in. Hello. It was quite a frightful thing that just now happened here. I slayed several of those kobolds again, and they had seemed to come back. But don't worry, this is not all my blood, and I'll flick off some of like the meat chunks off of my armor and
A
things.
little bit of foreskin and whatnot.
And I'll be like, but anyways, here, and I don't think I can make it back over to you again through these force field thingies, but the Tusk, my man, you said that there was an opening over here, over the statue. I'll take my mage hand and I'll grab the thing that I took, the pendant, and I will float it over there, and then I'll move it over towards where Tusk and Allie are, maybe Allie, since she's the closest.
Yeah. Is Mage Hand as far as you can see, or does it have a specific distance? It's just out of curiosity. This room is going to be small enough anyway. I think if nothing, it's like
Okay.
60 feet or more, but
it's within 30 feet, but I would with 30 feet of me, so I'd be moving with it if I had to.
That's
So
easy enough,
I
yeah.
would, move up. I would
Yep.
move up to here.
Yep,
that I
you're
could
good.
Keep control over it. Yeah. So yeah, here you go, Allie. This is about as far as I can reach. My mage hand kind of flickering in and out a little bit here. Here you go. Take that.
I'll go over and grab it.
and
You
it
want me
is
to wrap you
the,
at a tent and throw you over?
Oh no, it's all right. I've had kind of a trying experience. I think I'll just kind of kneel down here for just a second and just catch my breath.
and
Alright,
Allie, that's the locket pendant I described that he hands over.
You're
Oh,
brave
Margaret,
for
with
taking
the-
on
with
so
the
many
picture of the
kobolds.
priest.
Yes.
It doesn't actually have a picture of him, but there are hammered flat.
Picture of his grandma.
It's a picture of his grandmother, and him holding up his trophy for best crotch.
This is
Um,
Martina. I was named after her.
the
Oh,
I keep wanting to say paladin. You're a paladin. It's not platinum. It's platinum, hammered flat
Platinum.
with scribing on it, and I presume you cannot read Draconic either.
I can.
no, I'm gonna bring it
Okay.
over to Allset.
Now, one thing that definitely would catch Allie's eye is this appears to be a piece of jewelry that was crafted by somebody in your not too distant past.
Oh.
It is not the piece of jewelry that was being crafted for you, but it looks like something
Her
that
work.
Belle may have crafted. Almost assuredly, it even has that little stylistic bee on the bottom and the inside of the locket.
Hell.
And it is
Um,
platinum, not that Belle.
Oh, Mark.
I am gonna bring it over to Allset.
Yep.
Allset, dear, I can't read this. Do you know what it says?
I'll take a look.
Also, what you read out of it is it's in Draconic, and it is a kobold's rambling. I'll go with rambling. It's a kobold's rambling on the research it has done and how it thinks it might be able to deactivate what Daramon has left behind. There are a few steps in there, and it involves a small animal sacrifice as well as several different components. And I'll give you a little bit more of what that is as you go. But that bit is kind of written in like a scrawly, meandering, like I said, ramblings. So in order to assemble what's there, if you're interested, what I want is some kind of intelligence check, because it is mainly around taking the ramblings of a mad hybrid kobold and putting that into action.
So could we use investigation for that or something?
I'm going to say no, because to me investigation seems a little different. Well, describe what investigation means in this case to you, because maybe it would work.
Well, I'm searching through his list of stuff to try to figure out the like whatever hidden fragments might be missing from it, like what pieces, try to like get the train of thought, get the connect the dots per se.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that then. Go for it. Let's go with investigation.
This off.
Oh, you're making up for those 20s earlier.
Yeah, I get this bonuses out my ass, but I can't roll for shit.
Yeah, so
I thought you said Alset tried to read it, not Tusk.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a Tusk roll.
Says I'm an idiot. I throw it on the ground.
You stomp into little pieces, flatten out all the writing.
Just smash me.
So you're able to discern about 8 or so different ingredients or steps, but you can't figure out if there's a certain order, or if some of them were meant to be there or meant to be discarded. There are some things that are scratched out, but then they look like, if you've ever written something and then you're like, no, that's not right, but yes, it is. So you scratch it out and then you draw a circle around it after.
Yeah,
There's stuff like that in there where you can't quite make out what may have been on purpose and what may have been accidental. And you're also looking at pieces of platinum hammered flat that are about the size of a coin with little writing on it. He was obviously trying to keep it secret in this locket, but it's small too. So put all that together and your one says no. Like you don't have the answer.
How's it going over there? You guys solving the mystery, solving the problem, yes?
Not so great, apparently.
Well...
So now remember,
I could run down the list of stuff for
there you go. I was going to say I'm always happy to let you roll again, but whatever you do next, especially whatever Alset does next, will be tempered by the one that it began with.
Yeah, I will list the whatever ingredient, if he has ingredients down or whatever, or he has like a certain thing, certain actions that he performed. I will say, like, I'm not sure if the order of these things or some of these might not be useful anymore. Yep. But here's the full list.
All right. So now let me just, I'm going to just make some stuff up if anybody else wants to write it down so that I don't have to. It might be useful to me. But these are things I had in mind that I'm just going to rattle into this. You need a piece of a dragon's toenail. You need dust from a warm rock. You need moss from the bed of a river. You need the eye of a black squirrel. And you need 4 frogs' legs from different frogs. And those are those are each listed as one thing. A frog's leg from one frog, a frog's leg from a different frog, a frog's leg from yet another different frog, a frog leg from yet a different frog from the other 3 frogs that I previously listed as frog's legs. It's that kind of rambling stuff.
What was after a piece of dragon toenail?
Everything else.
Because I got moss
Moss
from
from-
Riverbed, and
warm.
I have
I've got it all written
Dust
down.
from
Yeah, I
a
got it.
warm rock.
Okay, it was way too fast.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think that we have any of that stuff here, unless, I mean, Ali or Tusk, you have been carrying those things.
The only moss I have is from around this cave. There was a warm rock under the rug. So I don't know if all that stuff would be here under
We
the
might be able to
rugs
use
or-
some of the kobold's toenails, technically.
No, I think this kind of magic here, all set, my man. After again looking at some of this stuff here, I think that you know very well that that would not work out here. We need.
Well,
we-
there might be something laying around here. This is a dragon's lair. So.
And you guys could also work together on another roll with Alset, maybe, telling others what's going on with the writing, and then others trying to interpret it and make something happen.
Would you explain it to me like you would a toddler? And
Explain as you would a child.
Not that I need it, but it might make it easier for everybody else,
no, I need it. Please go over it one more time.
And it's gone over one more time, presumably.
Mhm. Yeah.
Slow,
Just repeating the list.
dust, rock, dragon's toenail,
Frogs.
frog, frog's legs from different
Oh,
frogs.
just try to find a way to give him a chance to get a better roll for that whole time.
Was it say just one eye of a black squirrel?
Oh, well, I mean, it literally says eye of a black squirrel.
Okay.
Hmm.
Does he mean a black squirrel or something else? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Kobolds are kind of crazy.
Especially a feline kobold.
If
Cat
we,
boy.
punch a
Could have
regular,
been a green squirrel. For all I know.
Yeah, kind of a.
if we punch a squirrel in the eye and take it out, will that work?
You just gotta slap it in the back of the
work.
head hard enough.
A black eye from a regular squirrel?
That might
Well,
work.
I mean, Joe, does Marty think? Does he believe that we would be able to solve this here with what we have in this room, or not?
It depends on if the ramblings of this kobold have extraneous items in them. Where I want you to keep in mind here is it's going to be up to Chris on how confident Alset is in saying what he finds, because Alset knows he didn't figure it out, right? The one,
Yeah.
carry the one metagamed. Alset knows he didn't figure it out for sure, but he found some stuff, and he's kind of shared that stuff. Now, it's going to
This
be
guy
up to
have-
anybody else who wants to try and act on that.
Yeah, did this guy have did he have a bag of some of his goodies on him?
Now that you know, Marty, now that you know that there might have been something that would have been seen as kind of just superfluous, it might be worth going back and
All right,
looking in that
fine,
room
fine.
again.
I'll-
And we
I'll
can
go
do
take a
that.
look
I mean,
again.
we can do that quick enough.
Marty,
You don't
I'll
even
go
need
back.
you don't need to even need
Oh
to
no,
move your character.
I'm already heading
All right,
back.
you
there.
got it.
I'm just
Marty,
kidding.
check
Go ahead. So yeah, I'll move back there. And
But,
what do
all
I
right.
see when I get back?
So
in?
searching,
Check the tents.
give me a perception check to search the area.
Perception
Just
check.
grab
absolutely.
Yes, please.
Grab everything.
Well, it might be something that's not obvious. So I'm going with the perception check.
Check under the tents.
Under the tent. You mean the one that you wrap the paladin in, or a different tent?
That is extremely average, is what I just rolled.
Yeah. Well, you only needed an average check to find some average
Hey.
stuff laying around. In the tent in that spot, there's a note underneath the pillow on the cot that says, in common, look in the altar. And you look in the altar, and so this, I'm stress this is a rambling kind of madman kobold here. Inside of the altar, which previously you didn't know opened, there is a leather, but you're not quite sure what kind of leather. It's definitely animal skin, but what animal? It's not a cow. Definitely not a cow. Something else. But inside of that, you find individual pouches of different things, and for sure, at least 3 of those pouches look like old, like desiccated frog legs, and there looks like a little marble in one of them, and there's dust in one of these little pouches. So there's a couple of things that might ring a bell there.
Okay. Anything else, or is that it?
That's about it.
Okay. All right. I'll take these and I'll huck them into. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take them and I will.
Throw 'em
I'll
in the
start
fire.
making my. I'll start making my way back down.
Hot
Before I leave, I'll just turn and I'll make sure that the priest is dead. I'm just make sure he was still there. And I'm like,
Yeah, his head is 5 feet from his body.
okay. All right. Good.
And he's
I'll-
he's staring at you with a really sad look that says, "Somebody stabbed me in the crotch and cut my head off." Because everyone knows what that looks like. Yeah.
What a way to go! And then I'll just walk out,
Yeah.
and I'll make my way. I'll make my way back over. I'm like, all right, everyone. I seem to have retrieved several of the things. It was hidden inside of an altar here. I'm not sure how we missed this before, but I've got some things here for you. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll mage hand it over the statue, and then over and drop it towards Allie, since she's again still closest to
Yep.
I'll go
the side
grab
of the
it.
thing.
Okay.
All right,
So-
we got the pile.
How are what I'm looking for next is how are you guys going to work together to make this happen? Because
I will cheer them on from over here.
there you go. So you are in some way going to give minotauric inspiration.
Yes.
That's what it is. Now, who else? And again, I encourage Alset to keep going with rolls. Just reminded that they're tempered by the one that you started with. But
Right. I mean,
What do we
there's
got?
a list of ingredients, but was there a list of any words?
that's
or
what the
certain
one
actions
doesn't
to
help you
take?
with. That's why I'm hoping you can work with others to figure something out.
Yes. Allie, Tusk, what have you got? I'm here for you on this side of the thing.
We can keep it. Let me just finish up with Chris there. We can keep it as simple as you couldn't understand it because it's the ravings of a madman. You're trying to, but you didn't grasp what they were trying to get across. Allie, go ahead.
Allie's just gonna kind of grab whatever she can from her pack and like feverishly write down every bit of information that Allset read off, even if it's just kind of like a couple words here. She'll write down all the ingredients and just try to like clarify with Allset and try and like get this word scramble to make sense.
Okay. Tusk want to participate at all?
Yeah, he can assist the best he can. I mean,
You got to
Great.
describe it, man.
Ravens of a Madman could be, kind of just basic reading for Tusk because he's pretty basic when it comes to
Yeah.
everything educational wise, barbarian, whatnot.
Okay. I guess I could see that if nothing else, kind of a an outsider's approach to the written language. If Tusk isn't that great at it.
You see, when he says raving slime thing, he means fish.
There you go. All right. And Marty's just gonna do a little shaking the pom poms from the other side of the room.
Yes. My mage hand and I will be just clapping for them. I'll have one hand up and mage hand just gently clapping on them. Going,
Nice.
Go team. This is.
Nice.
I mean, I wish I could do more for you, but I doubt very highly that I could get myself back over there. So,
Just run and jump over the goggle.
you see, the thing is here, Ali. Again, I'm not the physical type.
The
so-
running type. Yeah.
Do you want me to get him and throw him over?
No, it's all right. So
Enough
I
for the
have
burritos.
I have
Mhm.
great faith in the three of you. Good job. Good show.
Just spray it with your drink thing that you like to sell so much.
Marty, while I'm working with the other ones, think of a role that you might, a skill or role or something that you think might apply to this. All right, so
Okay.
Tusk, because it doesn't sound like intelligence, I'm going to ask you to roll a wisdom roll here. Wisdom is more things that come to you naturally rather than thinking them through, which seems like that's how Tusk is going to try to help.
Yeah, probably.
Allie, it sounded a lot like intelligence to me, but depending on how you want to handle that, if you can think of a skill that is most appropriate to the way you would handle that.
Not the worst roll, but not that great. Better than a 1.
Yeah. It's better than a 1, yeah. At least I didn't. I'll set this one.
Aw.
I didn't tusk my roll.
I didn't tusk the roll. Tuck and roll.
Yeah, it was a bit tusky.
Tuck and tusk. And then I'll set, what I'm looking for is what skill are you using to help convey to them what only you can read?
Patience.
Patience is a good one. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I would still try to use Arcana to kind of like put things in order. Like, okay, if I was trying to do a spell with this stuff, and I've used these kind of things, similar things in other spells,
Could we
it would be like this.
could we maybe look at it in the terms of this is probably just like when they were chanting before, this is probably something ritualistic, like that kind of?
Yeah. Now, I guess what I'm looking for is you're going to roll a d20. What skill fits what we're describing, for you at least?
I mean, for me, it's still based in magic, so I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to translate from Draconic to a language I understand. This is what I think he's trying to do. If I say something that clicks for you, what does that mean? Even Marty, I mean, if he could hear us, I'm just saying, hey,
Yeah.
This is what I think it says.
And that's where Jason's going to help us
Obviously-
out with what his skill is going to be in a minute.
But it's going to be it's metaphrase, right? The sentencing
Yeah.
structure is going to be weird. It's well, maybe he meant this word instead.
Okay. So let's go ahead with your roll then. And Allie, you're going to use what?
I'm going to stick with the intelligence roll. I
Okay.
don't really have anything that would work better.
Okay.
So my intelligence is a 10, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. All right.
Better than my roll.
8 and a
Well,
12.
let's see what I could pull up.
And
Oh, hey.
A hey is
finally.
17.
Yeah.
All right, now Marty's over there cheering on the home team. How is he doing that?
So, Marty trying to discern what the group is doing. It seems like they're kind of all in different places right now. Marty would try to use insight to try to determine where the three of them are finding actual connections and where I think that they're just kind of going very far off the chain here as far as they're just completely going down the wrong side here, and try to relate to them as best as he can.
Okay, so if there was a skill for interpretation, that's what I would see it as. What are you going to
That's
translate
insight.
that to?
Insight, I think, would be-
Insight. Good. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
And
I
that
think
works
insight would-
because you're looking at the character interaction. Good. I
Yep.
like that.
Okay. That is a 11. So,
All right. So we put, let's see, 8 and 12 is 20, and 23 is 43, and 11 is 54. Divided by 4. You guys got more than a 10 on average. That's nice. Let's say that overall, you're able to put together that you need most of these bits and pieces that were found. And from what you can tell, they need to be put together, bathed in the skull fire, which is how it's written, and then placed in the center of the pool.
The pool in the room with the
hot
skull
tub.
or the hot tub?
It doesn't say that. It just says in the center of the pool. Now, here's where I can say, based on what you guys have learned, and it's just me refreshing player memory, none of the kobolds made it past the first 2 gargoyles. Nobody's ever
Yes.
made it past here. So chances of it being this pool are pretty unlikely.
There's the pool of water where we came in.
Well,
I
yeah,
would
there was
say
like a
that
river
pool.
where we came
Yeah.
in, but there was also a pool where the priest was.
Well, there was a pool of water where we came in.
Yeah. Yeah,
would
I
say
just
that's
zoomed out
cool.
our stream map, and realistically, the other one is more like a puddle. I mean, you could call it a pool of water, but it's not a pool. It's more like a brackish puddle that's maybe 5 or 6 feet wide in different areas in that other room. So yeah, it needs to be bathed in the skull fire and set at the center of the pool.
All right, we gotta have to pass everything back to Marty. He does,
All right.
does the bathing and drops it in the pool.
Do we have it? Do we have everything though on that list? Do we have all the pieces?
Yes.
I don't think we. Okay. We have all the.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
You,
so I'll
you
take-
have the relevant pieces working all together. You're able to,
Okay.
to determine that you have, again, provided this kobold even knew what he was talking about. You have all the relevant pieces.
This still might not work.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So take this back there. Throw it in the fire. Take it out. Throw it in the pool.
Bathe it.
And the other
Hey.
part about this, by the way, is this is the kobold's attempt over the years to figure out how to negate the dragon's magic. If Daruman was here, Daruman would just speak or move a motion or whatever to turn these things on and off, right? It's not what the dragon would have to do each time. It's just the kobold's way of trying to short circuit the dragon's magic. All right, so you go to the Flaming Skull.
Go to the flaming skull, yes,
Okay.
and I'll take everything out of the pouches, and I guess I'll take them and I'll gently bathe them in the fire.
All right, you get a base to the face. The priest is still alive again.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'll gently coat them in the fire, and then I will
Roll
put them back
initiative.
into the bag and.
When you bring them into the fire, you notice that all of these old and desiccated things start to, come to less old and less desiccated. It is clearly now a little eyeball instead of a little black marble.
Oh.
In the frog's legs, by the time you're done with it, there's more than just bone and a touch of dried flesh.
Sinew.
There's like a little, sinew. There's a little bit of muscle starting to grow there. The old wound healing kind of thing. It's both
All you
disturbing
need frog
and
legs.
neat at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, all right, very good. And then I will and just bathe them in the pool. And I look over at the water that's next to me. I'm like, does it mean that water? Does it mean
Probably
that
not
pool?
it. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll take that, and I will. After I'm done, I will make my way back over and bring it back down.
So you're going to go to the pool that we were.
Yeah, the big pool.
The
for
big
the
pool?
entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you get there, remember one of the things that was happening was during the combat in there with the kobolds, some of them were running across rocks that were just under the water's edge.
Yeah.
When you examine towards the center of the pool, there's a clear formation of rocks in the center. And they are they're in the shape of a killer shark. No, like a hollowed out bowl. That's the way to think about it. It's still almost a foot below the surface, but it is clearly in a shape like that. When you set all of the stuff down in there, everybody else knows that you did it because all of these fields in the room drop. Right? Everything that was glowing just immediately stops glowing, except the hot tub. The hot tub stays
Gargoyles
glowing.
come alive. Initiative.
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Let
Allie
me
is going to grab the necklace from Allset and book it back to the beginning to check on Marty.
I'm actually going to go through. So those walls disappear too, and I'll do that. But I'm going through right now and like undoing the glow from these things to try and make the scene match what I was saying. And again, everything except that the hot tub. The hot tub's still glowing. Everything else that was glowing stops. Okay. And let me see if is there an easy. I think if I erase it, clears everything. Yes. Okay. So that gets rid of the walls too. Good. So the walls are down, and so for the moment, Marty is not in the picture. And Allie, what were you saying?
Allie's gonna grab the necklace back from Allset, and then she's gonna book it back towards the beginning to check on Marty.
Okay. As soon as that, so you do that. You can do that. You have the light. I almost forgot about that. I was going to say, as soon as you start moving, you plunge into darkness, but you don't because you have light. So go ahead and move Allie right outside of the room for now. And Allset and Tusk, within a few moments, you hear behind you kind of the flapping of small, like leathery wings. And the two dragon, little mini dragon things on pedestals are definitely coming to life and starting to flap their wings at you. Well, not at you, to raise themselves up on the pedestal. I flap my wings at you.
Gotcha.
Permission to rage and attack.
Hold on.
Hold, please. Your rage is important.
Do they look like they're, I don't know, hostile? Or they're just kind of waking up?
Give me a perception check. Or insight. I'll go with insight because they're creatures.
How big did we say they are?
All right.
How big? They've got a 5-foot wingspan. I think typical pseudo dragon from old D&D. I actually don't know what a pseudo dragon is like in new D&D, but old D&D, pseudo dragon, like a pet.
Well, the pseudo dragons, like in 3.5, could fit on like a skull comfortably. Like that's actually the picture they have in the book.
So a little bigger. Give it a 5-foot wingspan. So when its wings are outstretched, that would be wider than you are tall. But they're not huge. I mean, its body is smaller than your body. It just has wings. So what do we got? Allset, you're not sure. They look like they might be protecting something, but meh. They're
I
not
will
attacking
back
you
up.
yet, but you haven't
Yeah.
stepped within a square either, like with the gargoyles.
Yeah, I will back up to the hot tub.
Are you going to step over the runic circle?
I'd like to read it first, if
Okay.
I can.
All right. So
If
as
it's like a
Ulset
warn-
steps up to the runic circle and starts to read it, it clearly spells out the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Hey.
clearly.
And it's written in a language only he can understand, so Chris, you have to leave.
Bye, Chris.
I'm jumping in the hot.
Jumping in the hot tub.
Over
Cannonball.
already.
Now, to expand on that a little bit, we've been calling it a hot tub. When you're right up to it, by the way, it emits no heat, just so you know. Because you now have gotten close enough to it that you would know. If it was emitting heat within like 2 feet of it, you would have known.
But does it look like
Tub.
flames, or is it?
It looks like, it looks similar to the magical flames that are on the skull in the other
Okay.
room, but there's more of a basis to it. Where those magical flames are like floating within the skull, this has almost a lava type base, but it's not that the stereotypical lava magma that's bubbly and all,
Right.
chaotic. It's just almost a smooth mirror surface of hot liquid, but not hot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Looks like it should be hot. Like there should be a caution, do not touch on it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel hot from a distance. All right, but yeah, we're gonna wrap up this one here, and I still don't think I set up the right exit music.
Much like Paris Hilton, it says it's hot, but it's not.
Oh, hey-o, there's Randy. Randy started at the beginning of the episode and then came back to life at the end.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's good to be back.
but you know what? There's another thing I was going to mention. We are we are going to be kicking off a different, a different story arc within Koradjis next week. If Allie hadn't run out of the room to go check on Marty, she would have seen something that would have been kicking us off in the next episode. But
She was worried about her sweet baby Marty.
and she should be. She definitely should be. He took a mace to the face, and now he ran off to turn off all the magic. But
Yes. When Allie runs out, I'm assuming, deep with a fear of what I'm doing, she finds me just in the waters, like gently bathing things.
yeah, exactly. You're probably just washing the blood off from under your nose. Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. And let me, I think I might be able to play something here to actually do the right exit. But let me see if I can do this. Do I know how to make things happen? Let's find out. Here we go. Let me click that button, and oh, it's not very loud. There we go. How about that, Randy? Now you can play drums to it. And we are out. Bye.